Sometimes we must live through the darkness in order to see the light. We must visualize.
Hi everyone. This week's going to be a bit hard for me to talk about because it's talking about my biggest weakness and some of the biggest issues I've had in my life. When I was 12, I was diagnosed with depression and anxiety. It is hereditary in my family, but we found out that I had it after I started junior high, and I had a really hard time adjusting to going to a new school and having different classes all the time. And so I ended up seeing a counselor. And my seventh year of school, I would only go to school Monday to Thursday, and I had Fridays off because school was only until noon on Fridays. And I found just having that one day was really helpful. Um, so when I was 12, I was put on antidepressants and was on them up until now. I'm still on them. I did okay throughout school. Saw several counselors, several psychiatrists, several psychologists. Just did everything I could to deal with what I was given. After my stem cell transplant, I was having struggles again and going back to school and all of that. So I was eventually diagnosed with PTSD, or post traumatic stress disorder, after my stem cell transplant because of everything I went through. And I was also diagnosed with seasonal anxiety disorder. So, meaning in wintertime when there's less light, I tend to get more down than during summertime with the lights. After I served my mission, which I talked about last week, I think I was the most confident I've ever been in my life. Everything was fantastic. Felt really good about myself. And then I ended up getting my first boyfriend. Um, Ended up falling in love, or I thought I was in love, and everything was going really well. We were together about 3 months, and I started getting really obsessive, and that's one thing that I have is I get really obsessive about things, and I can't stop thinking about them. I obsess over little things, and things were going really well with him. But after I started getting a little obsessed with him, he broke it off, and that just it shattered me, and I didn't know what to do with my life. I did everything I could to get him back. I was pretty much stalking him, and it was terrible. I'm not surprised he doesn't talk to me or anyone anymore. Really messed that one up, but it really messed me up, and I really spiraled out of control after that. Was doing okay. I still had friends who were able to get things through, and I ended up meeting this other guy who I ended up liking a lot, but he didn't want anything more than friends, so I ended up just being friends with him, and he ended up turning into my best friend. And so I kind of moved on from that and met another guy through work that I became obsessed with. If you'll notice, the theme of this is I've got obsessive issues, and I got obsessed with him at work, and we ended up having a not really a relationship, but if you're Mormon, you might understand the term NICMO, which means non-committal makeout, and that's pretty much all I did with him was make out. And he wasn't the best member, and he tried to take it a bit further than I was willing to go. And when I wasn't willing to go any further, he broke it off with me, and that really upset me. I tried to do everything I could to continue to be with him or whatever, but I ended up moving up to Edmonton, kind of just running away from my problems, and that was probably the worst thing I could do because when I was in Edmonton, I just pretty much slept all the time. I lost a job because I was calling in sick and just not living my life. I was given sleeping pills for sleeping issues I have because my brain just doesn't stop working. It doesn't stop thinking, and I overthink things and I can't sleep. So I was given sleeping pills, and I ended up having to move back to Lethbridge after a couple months because my knees were going to need surgery, which I'll talk about that next week. And so I had my knee surgeries, and after that, I spun completely out of control. Um, my best friend, I guess the second guy that I still thought I was in love with, but I was okay being just friends. And I remember him telling me that he would never date a girl with scars. And I know how shallow that is, and I know there's a lot of shallow guys in this world, but that really broke my heart. And I ended up taking more and more sleeping pills every night to go to sleep. And when I was on these sleeping pills, I would end up sending, I guess you would call them drunk texts, and sending just these terrible things to these people, to my friends, and all of that, and just not making any sense, saying terrible things. And I lost a lot of friends through this period of time. Few of them have forgiven me and have come back and are friends with me again, but I really messed things up. Um, One night I ended up just taking sleeping pill after sleeping pill after sleeping pill because I just couldn't get to sleep. And I think I probably took about 11 sleeping pills that night. And I was texting my friend, and he just got fed up with it. And the next day he called my mom and pretty much told on me. Um, but essentially, he saved my life. My mom took me in to see the doctor and got in to see a psychiatrist. And my mom used to be a psychiatric nurse, so she was able to understand that what I need in life is a routine. And in order to keep me sane and normal as I can be, is I need a routine in life. So she was able to set a routine in my life, and I was able to start slowly getting better. We found out after when I was on sleeping pills, I was on painkillers, I was on antidepressants, several medications throughout my life from everything I've been through. We found out that the painkiller I was taking for my knees and the antidepressant I was on were interacting with each other and causing what is called serotonin syndrome, where your brain ends up producing more serotonin than it should. And my mom was reading up on this, and essentially that's what was causing me to go crazy pretty much. I was hallucinating, I was obsessing, I was doing all of these crazy things. And it turned out it was because of the interactions of the two medications I was on together for years without really realizing until I got them prescribed together that I shouldn't be on them together. So stop taking those painkillers. I will never take those painkillers again. And still on antidepressants, I finally found one that works for me. I've pretty much been on every antidepressant you could think of. I've been on it, but I'm on one now that works. I still have my depression issues. I still get anxious over little things, but not as bad as I used to. There were points in my life where I couldn't make it out the door. I didn't want to be around people and all of that. And sadly, I've lost friends because of these depression issues. And I don't know if any of you are watching this. I am sorry for what I did in my past. I am embarrassed by a lot of the things I said. I don't remember a lot of the things I said because of the state I was in. I've even said some terrible things to my family members, and I apologize for that. But I am doing okay now. Again, this video is kind of hard to do because I messed up so badly, and I tried to commit suicide in my life, and I've thought about suicide, and I've thought of ways I would kill myself, and occasionally those thoughts still pop up, but I don't let them run me like they have. So if any of you are struggling with depression, anxiety, anything like that, reach out to me. I know what it's like. I've been to the bottom. I've been to hell and back. Yeah. So that's my story about depression and anxiety and everything I've been through with that part of my life. Next week, I'm going to talk about my knee surgery and my bilateral knee replacement. So hopefully you're still watching, and I'll see you then. And remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Like, subscribe, follow, share, do whatever you can, get this out there, and we'll see you next week.
Sometimes we must live through the darkness in order to see the light. We must visualize.